we're done with that whole situation in the underworld, we can finally look for the Stellaron. But thinking about it, I feel a bit bad about Clara.
You tried your best. Don't blame yourself. I should have
I didn't mean for you guys to start beating yourselves up over it. Look on the bright side. Things turned out all right, didn't they? Now everyone knows that the real problem here is the Stellaron, and they're willing to help us out. All in all, the mission is going super smoothly.
But we still have a lot left to figure out. Exactly. We don't even have the Stellaron's coordinates and location. Cocolia's sudden change in attitude is also very curious. We still haven't put all of the pieces together. Dreams?
Oh, I remember you mentioned something about strange dreams before.
All three dreams were the same, with Cocolia and that other voice.
It would be weird to call it a coincidence.
I'm wondering if these dreams aren't just random, if there's some meaning behind them. Maybe you're having them because...
Because of the Stellaron inside her?
That's my hunch, but I have no proof.
Well, then that's as good as nothing for now. So, what should we do when we get back above ground? After all this talk, we're still back at square one.
We solve a puzzle one piece at a time. Let's get some rest. We'll talk to Wildfire tomorrow and get to the bottom of this. Also, there's still one more key character we haven't talked to yet. Her connection to Cocolia may be the key to cracking this mystery.
You're back! I've heard from Wildfire that you helped resolve that whole situation with Svarog. Amazing. It must have been exhausting. Please have some food and get a good night's rest.
Over there. See that? That used to be the worst street in Rivet Town. And it's also where I grew up. My friends and I used to wander those streets, thinking about where to find our next meal. That is, until Chief Oleg got me out and took me to the orphanage. There, I learned to read and write from Natasha. At the age of 10, I started to patrol the mines with Oleg, occasionally getting into fights with the local thugs. Nice? You being sarcastic with me?
Oh, no, sorry. Life in the underworld is difficult. I shouldn't be speaking about it so lightly.
You're always so serious. It really gets on people's nerves sometimes, you know?
Right. What I meant was... I kind of envy you, Zila. For as long as I can remember, my days have been an endless cycle of studying, etiquette lessons, and training. Every day, all I hear is, "Remember who you are, Bronya. This is against the Architect's admonishments, Bronya. Ladies shouldn't use such foul language, Bronya." Some may envy this kind of life, but I have felt trapped. When every choice and every goal has already been made for you.
No, I can't. But more importantly, what kind of foul language are you using?
In the name of the Architects, I shall stick this spear into your nostril.
That's it? Oh, that's nothing. Looks like I'll have to teach you some underworld slang before you go back.
No, that won't be necessary.
It'll be better than poking people's nostrils, at least. I never thought that I'd be here having a heart-to-heart with the future Guardian. As a kid, I didn't meet many people who lived in the overworld. I only heard stories from the grown-ups and figured you were all just a bunch of cold snobs.
I've heard from some Silvermane veterans that before the orders were made to seal off the underworld from the overworld, there was no difference between the two places. Everybody ate the same food, chatted about the same topics, celebrated the same festivals. Even though times are different now, things like the joys and sorrows of life, the ties between people, these precious things must certainly still connect us all. If there is a way to bridge the gap between the two worlds.
I'm not like you. I don't have that many grand plans for the future. But if that's the future you want, I'm willing to build this bridge with you.
Thank you, Zila. Your trust is very important to me.
Speaking of which, what are you going to do next? What Svarog revealed must have made quite an impact.
Yes. I thought I was prepared for anything, but... as long as I am the Guardian's successor, those truths will come out sooner or later. But why does my mother hide it from me, and why does she want me to hunt down the outsiders who know about the nature of the Stellaron? It doesn't make sense. I thought it over. There's only one thing I can do. Go ask her directly.
You... hold on. You're not really going, are you? Alone?
I've already thought it through, Zila. I am Madame Cocolia's daughter. That will never change. Be it my duties as her heir or as a Silvermane guard. I must face my problems head on.
Bronya.
This is for you, Zila. Please help me pass it on to the outsiders.
Okay, I understand. You've made up your mind, and there's nothing I can say that will change it. But remember this. If you run into trouble, I will come to save you, no matter what.
Then I'll be waiting for you. So, did you come to this spot when you were a child?
Of course. I just didn't appreciate how nice it was at the time. Very nice.
was a good sleep. I should go meet up with March and Dan Hung.
Took you long enough, sleepyhead. We've been waiting all day. I've noticed that our sleep routines don't match up. You either keep getting up in the middle of the night or snoozing away until the day's almost out. Unacceptable. You gotta work on your teamwork.
Did you have a dream again last night?
Huh, that's weird. I bet the conductor won, right?
Well then, let's go find Wildfire to discuss our next move and see if they have any new discoveries.
Let's go! I can't wait to finally get back above ground.
Oh, look who's here.
It's the Banus Farag, the big hero of the underworld, and the other big heroes, Dan Hung and March 7th.
Were those lines rehearsed?
Where's Natasha?
She has a bunch of other things to attend to, so I hope you don't mind talking to this old man instead. By the way, sorry for keeping that whole thing about her being the actual leader of Wildfire a secret. I'm glad you don't mind. Natasha is always cautious, but she has no ill intent. She told me to make sure you return to the overworld safely. I gave it some thought, and I think the safest way is to ask this fella for help.
I brought you down. I can take you back up, free of charge. Satisfaction guaranteed.
There's no need to knock us out this time, right?
Of course not. This time, we'll go back through the furnace core. That would be problematic and dangerous. Trust me, we should go through the furnace core.
Ugh, enough chatter. Just be a good guide.
Hold on. What about Branya? Why isn't she here?
She already went back. As you know, she has some things to settle with the Supreme Guardian.
What? She just ditched us and went back? How could you let her?
So, look who's here.
It's the Bane of Svarog, the big hero of... And the other...
Were those lines rehearsed?
Where's Natasha?
She is a bunch of other things. By the way, sorry for keeping that whole thing about her being the actual leader. I'm glad you don't mind. Natasha is always cautious, but she has no ill intent, as you surely have noticed. She told me to make sure you return to the overworld safely. I gave it some thought, and I think the safest way is to ask this fella for help.
I brought you down. I can take you back up.
There's no need to knock.
Of course not. This time, we'll go back through the furnace core. That would be... probably...
Enough chatter.
Hold on. Why isn't she here?
She already went back. As you know, she has some things to settle with the Supreme Guardian.
What? She just ditched us and went back? How could you let her?
Exactly. She has a lot of responsibilities. I don't completely understand, but I trust that she's trying to solve the problem. Oh, right. Branya told me to give you this.
She left us a letter.
Stop overthinking and just open it.
Brother and sister Landau. I know the brother must refer to Japard, but who could the sister be? Oh, Serval! So she's Japard's older sister.
She gave it some good thought. But whatever's going on in that Supreme Guardian's head... even Branya might have to... Sampo, do you know the Landau sibling?
Landau. Yeah, we're all friends. I've mostly dealt with the younger brother in the past, but the sister... she's much scarier. Today's supposed to be a day of celebration, so let's not talk about it right now. We can set out at any time. Just come find me when you're ready.
You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with. According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. I'm a bit concerned. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society? Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. It certainly makes you wonder. And the most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help. It sounds dangerous, but what I want you to do is actually very simple. Investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out what exactly they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just sit on the sidelines. Can I entrust you with this task? You're as considerate as always. This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care. Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly when you're back.
You. I've seen you in the clinic. You run errands for Natasha, right? Don't play dumb. I might be sick, but my eyes still work. Let me guess. Natasha wants you to persuade me to go back for a follow-up visit, right? What's the use? I'm terminal. Life will be over before I know it. Of course not. I read it in a book. Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen incurable diseases before I get halfway through. For people in my situation, a follow-up visit is just a waste of time and money. Not to mention medicine. Mutual aid what now? What are you talking? What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back. You. Don't play. Let me get. What's the use? Of course not. I read it. Every book I read has descriptions that for people in my situation. Mutual aid. What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back when I had the opportunity. I guess I'm too proud. Are you making fun of me? Have at it. You won't change my mind. Dr. Vash never charged me anything either. Natasha's great, but Vash was always my number one. Natasha's brother? They both used to practice medicine back in Rivertown. I heard he was a top student from the Overworld Medical Academy. Bellabog's main hospital wanted him. I have no idea what convinced him to set up down here. A kind heart, maybe. You think I don't want to? I heard that he passed away. I should keep my voice down. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patients, so she... It's just something people were saying. I don't think Dr. Natasha could do something like that. I've seen... They both... I heard he was a top student from the Overworld... You think I don't want to? I should keep my voice down. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. It's just something people were saying. I don't... Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll do her a favor. I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later. Bye for now.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. My ears are... Ah! A follow-up visit. Is that what you're asking about? Natasha's a wonderful girl. She always gives me a thorough checkup. But at this age, it's rather a lot to bear. Even if they could cure me. I'm sure I wouldn't be around for long. I don't want to waste anyone's time. Not for youngsters like yourself. When you get to my time of life, good health is a bit of a luxury, I'm afraid. My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. He wanted to make sure I had enough. Then, one day, he said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. I miss him. Now that he's gone, who cares how long I stick around? Do you think so? Wouldn't he want me to hurry up and join him? Kids today. Don't give up easily. Okay, you win. It's off for another follow-up visit with Dr. Natasha, I suppose. Did you want to say something else? Virtual... All right, I heard you. Do you have to shout? No, I've never heard of any mutual aid society.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to her husband. I should find another patient to talk to.
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Dr. Natasha send you over? Who else would care about people like me? I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to save her worries in medicine. Huh, so you had a She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve of her methods, that's all. Too idealistic, no real efficacy. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who suffer, and she just tires herself out. Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait for death to come knocking. Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is cheap, and the results are immediate. You just need to be willing to take a little risk. Dr. Vash's medicine is different. Lots of people make a full recovery after taking it, even knowing the risk. Most people fight tooth and nail to get hold of the medicine. You're smarter than you look. When life forces you to the edge, you'll throw yourself at any opportunity, even if it means risking it all. For people like us, a slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. If it's between that and a quick result, we'll take the latter. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this? Dr. Vash is dead anyway. What? Now you're interested? Listen up. The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. I can tell you where they trade, but there's a rule. You must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha. You hear? If you break the rule, you'll face the consequences. Here, take this. It's the address. A final warning.
I know where to find the wonder medicine. What should I do next? That patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this. Should I listen to him?
Hey, where do you think you're going? Medicine? Oh, you mean Dr. Vash's wonder medicine, right? You're the same as everyone else that comes through here. If you want medicine, you don't need to go any further. You talk to me, and we only take cash. This ain't a charity. The Mutual Aid Society sets the price. It might be different from Dr. Vash and his handouts, but it's a darn sight cheaper than that clinic woman's medicine. Well, are you buying or not? Spit it out. I don't have time. Wait a minute. Your clothes. Are you friends with Get Lost? Now!
Wait! What about our medicine? We've been waiting for ages.
Get lost, all of you! Save your breath and come back some other time!
That medicine seller sure shut up shop in a hurry. I should head back and report to Natasha.
Nap time.
To betray my customers, I charge extra.
A delicate operation.
The mining?
Hard work needs hard rest. So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results. And now they're selling this so-called any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just me. I'm not surprised. They'll know that I'm completely against them using this wonder medicine. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but it seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. I'm guessing the patients you met weren't exactly singing my praises, which is why you tracked the dealer down and made inquiries first. I don't blame you. After everything you heard, I'm grateful you came back to find me. Your trust is important to me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effect.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. People's doctor, that's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks. That's just how I see it.
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff... Can you even call it medicine? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't deserve the title. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
Still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions. I see. I can understand that. I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again.
Who are you? Who? Where's my husband? And where's my child? Where are they? You know. You don't know. They don't know. Where?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady in peace. Let me explain. That poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill and passed away. Yes, before her family passed away, she was a carefree young woman. Her husband and child caught a mysterious illness. The symptoms weren't grave, but their livelihood was certainly impacted. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, they bought some kind of wonder medicine. The two began to suffer terribly, such that death then became a blessing. It wasn't long before they departed this world. From that moment on, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing, well, it doesn't bear thinking about. And yet, what more could have been done? They were warned about the medicine. They were told about the risks. And they chose to roll the dice. Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can. I just hope that one day she can lead a normal life again.
Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the wonder medicine all too well. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves to such experiments. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort below ground. Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the standard she'd strive to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next. Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. Are you willing to take... Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine. But it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequences. Don't worry about that. Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Stop right there! No. Oh, playing the hero. Wait a minute, you're that clinic woman's lackey, aren't you? Did you think the Mutual Aid Society didn't have its own intel? She's after our medicine and sent you here to smash the place, right? Men, look lively and send this idiot...
A delicate operation.
Well, look who we have here. Your reputation precedes you, outsider. I didn't take you for a bandit and a thief. You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. The medicine we hold here is lifeblood for many of our members. Are you sure you wanted to propose? Poor patients. The underworld is full of sickness. My Mutual Aid Society has relieved that doctor of... Seems like you are quite bent. Fine, seeing as you came all this way, it'd be rude not to give you the opportunity. Men, seize the medicine thief!
To betray my customers, I charge extra. A will forged in ice never falters.
Nap time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to...
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have expected trouble to find you sooner or later. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck. Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation. Nap time.
To betray my customers, I charge extra.
I'm okay.
A will forged in ice never falters!
That's better.
It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patient.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she?
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface. I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for...
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how I'm out of here.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing. I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us.
It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing. I'm okay. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to... That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a... He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal... I do admire his vision and perseverance, even though blizzard immunity always seemed unachievable to me. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research, but I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. A convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into a madman. Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. My judgment was clouded by trust in a loved one. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent ages trying to find a way to handle Vash. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was the day I no longer recognized my brother. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us, to take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Well, my friends, are you ready to head out? Wonderful. Remember to bring enough food.
Mother, I have returned.
Bronya, I thought I'd lost you. Where were you? Are you hurt? I'll fetch the butler right away.
No, there's no need. I don't want to see Sebas right now. Sorry, Mother. I'm fine, really. I just got into a few skirmishes down in the underworld, but nothing I...
The underworld? Oh, I see. In that case, report everything you saw. Commander Bronya.
After the failed pursuit at Backwater Pass, the wanted outsiders and I were somehow taken to the underworld. Because of the difficult situation we were in, we formed a temporary alliance to help the residents of the underworld resolve a few issues of... We also defeated an ancient robot known as Svarog and learned some truths.
I'm listening.
Madam Kokolia, it is my firm belief that the visitors from beyond the sky are not the villains we had imagined before. I witnessed them take up arms in the name of justice and risk their lives for the sake of others. I can also ascertain that they did come for the Stellaron, but only to relieve the disaster it has brought upon Belobog. Mother, you've always known the truth about the Stellaron, haven't you? Well, the responsibility of bearing that truth will fall upon me one day. So, I ask you to forgive my defiance, but I believe that the order to dispatch the outsiders was a mistake. To solve the problems brought on by the Stellaron, the architects waited hundreds of years.
And those outsiders may be the...
Enough! You merely glimpsed the tip of the iceberg, and now you think you know everything. You spend a short time with that underworld scum, and suddenly you have the audacity to question my orders?
Guards! They are not my entire life. Everything you ever kept from me. I remember it clearly now. This time I'm standing my ground, Madam Guardian. And please, stop dismissing me with vague excuses. Tell me what you have seen. What exactly it is you are hiding. Why do you send...
I knew this moment would come sooner or later. I just didn't expect it would be so soon. You want to know why I gave those orders? Is that right? Do you believe you're ready to learn the truth?
Yes. I am.
Then come with me, Braun. It is time you heard it. The voice of this dying world.
We're finally back. I forgot what fresh air tasted like.
No.
Where?
Nope! Where's our next stop? We should find somewhere to put our feet up. As long as it's not Goethe Hotel again.
Classic unreliable Sampo. He probably guessed we'd ask where his hiding place was. No sooner are we back in the administrative district than he sneaks off.
The bro or the sis? If you're talking about Chapard, we should be careful. He's a top Silvermane guard. He'd probably get a medal for every one of us he brought in. Don Hung, what do you think?
I think it'd be best to pay a visit to Serval Land.
So, you think we should avoid Chapard for the time being?
He's an elite officer of the Silvermane Guards. It wouldn't be easy to get to him. Besides, if he hasn't been persuaded by Branya's letter, we'd be walking right into the lion's den.
Makes sense. Guess we better head over to Serval's workshop.
But we must keep a low profile. We're still wanted fugitives.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's the last time I was on the surface. I was still a child. The overworld and the underworld. I'm okay. Look. There are so many Silvermane guards on patrol. Is it usually like this?
No. I don't remember the security being this tight last time. It might have something to do with us. The Supreme Guardian has probably learned of our arrival already. Branya.
Who is it? Shop's closed today. You'll have to come back tomorrow. I remember. The three outsiders. Wait, why are you still strolling around the city? Do you know the Silvermane guards are looking all over for you? Quick, act natural and get inside. Don't get...
All right, you'll be safe here. My workshop has pretty good soundproofing and barely anyone comes in. Just what crime did you commit, exactly? They recalled a bunch of guards from the front line to track you down. It's unprecedented. Now they're patrolling the whole city and everyone's in a panic.
No, we just...
Not yet, Mark. Branya said we could trust you completely.
You mean to say you don't trust me completely? Good. That's smart of you. But you needn't worry. Kokolia and I aren't even on speaking terms. It was her that ejected me from the Architects. I refuse to stand with her. I don't believe you guys would do anything bad. And the Architects are gonna need conclusive and publicly available evidence for me to think otherwise. Besides, I know the Architects, and if they did have any evidence, they would have released it by now. I know Kokolia's style. Get everyone into a frenzy. Most people in a frenzy don't stop to ponder the details. Me? None. What Kokolia and the Architects get up to has nothing to do with me. My time is too precious for pondering. These days, I just spend my time fixing things in this workshop and playing music. It's a pretty carefree existence. If I'm not careful, I'll start boring you all with sob stories from the past. Let's get back to you guys. If long-lost Branya told you to come here, you must have something important to tell me. You can trust me. I know our paths have only crossed once before, but my intuition tells me you guys are good people. And I've got good intuition, by the way.
Ooh, I'm the best storyteller. Let me...
So that's what's been happening. No wonder we hadn't heard from Branya recently. I believe you. There's no way you could have invented all those twists and turns. What's more, we have Miss Seela here as living proof. As for the Stellaron, I know why Branya got you to find me. When I was still one of the Architects working in the Scientific Research Division, I was researching the Stellaron. I never thought I'd hear that word again after being expelled by the Architects. Come on, I'll tell you everything. Only a very few people in Belobog know of the existence of the Stellaron. Those that do would never associate it with the Fragmentum or Eternal, but according to the data recorded in that robot, Svarog, the Architects dug out the truth long ago. The research results were purposely hidden away to ensure that the outside world would never know of them. Just my luck. Out of all the research topics I could have chosen, I insisted on the Stellaron. It's clear now that anyone who wanted to get closer to the truth would have been expelled or abandoned. Maybe I should be thanking Kokolia. All she did was push me out. She could have decided to take a more permanent measure. Yes, I never observed it directly, but I used lab simulations and outbound surveys to establish a rough location. According to the survey results, the Stellaron is likely to the north of Belobog, somewhere in the vast snow plains.
We must locate it as soon as possible. Ideally before Kokolia takes action.
Not a problem. I was thinking the same thing. But I'm afraid telling you might not be enough. The area to the north of Belobog has been more or less swallowed up by the Fragmentum. If you want to get to the northern snow plains, you'll need to get past the Silvermane Guard restricted zone on the front lines first. Even if you get past the restricted zone in one piece, you'll have a whole heap of Fragmentum to deal with. Correct. And it's different from the underground towns you described. The Fragmentum there has quite literally torn everything to pieces. There's no sign of life, despite the monsters.
It sounds like the three of us and Seela might not be enough.
I fear we may not.
Hey, enough pessimism. Back in my official capacity days, I spent a lot of time in the north. I got to know the soldiers and officers on the front line very well. This calls for brainwaves, not brawn waves. How about I take you over myself?
Really? Great!
I want to see the Stellaron too, you know. It was my research topic for over a decade. That's settled then. There's no time to lose. We should head out as soon. Darn it! I forgot my brother said he'd be around today. Find somewhere to hide, quick! I'll handle him. Japard! It's you! I didn't think you'd have the time to visit with things so tense on the front line.
Things are manageable. The latest wave of monster attacks has slowed. I'm back in the city to take care of a few matters, but I'll be back on the front line later. I thought I told you.
Ah! Oh, yes. That's right.
Sis, you look a bit pale. Did something happen?
No. Why would anything have happened?
You don't normally use my full name.
You said you hate it when I call you bro in public. Well, I agree. It'd sound better if I started using your full name. Right, Brosif?
You can call me whatever you like. Look, Serval, I'm here on official business today. There's something wrong with the barrier generator device, and the engineers in our unit don't know how to fix it. I need you to take a look.
Those guys can't think outside the box. Of course they can't wrap their heads around my design. I thought it was something big. Leave it here. I'll take a look.
Sorry to trouble you.
Why are you being so polite? Oh, and why is the city under curfew all of a sudden?
I've been instructed to keep it quiet.
Lil Jeppy. So grown up now, looking down on his civilians.
Don't say that. Forget it. If I don't tell you, Pela will. Last night, Lady Bronya suddenly appeared. She entered Klepoth Fort without saying anything to anyone. The Supreme Guardian is worried that the 3 intruders may have followed Bronya out of the Fragmentum and back into the administrative district. She issued a curfew for the entire city.
Ah, so that's how it is. No wonder I haven't heard from Bronya. Is she all right?
I'm not sure. She hasn't left Klepoth Fort. The Supreme Guardian just said she'd returned.
Well, I was sure worried about her.
She really does tell you everything. Oh, by the way, I left my Goethe Hotel limited edition flask behind last time I was here. Let me have a look for it.
Wait!
What is it?
It's, right. You remember how you neglected all those flowers to death? I piled them all over there during a bit of spring cleaning, and now they smell terrible.
Seems like a strange reason not to take a look. Plus, am I supposed to believe you were spring cleaning? You must be up to more forbidden research.
Am not? How dare you? What do you take your sister for?
Never mind. This is your space, and I shouldn't intrude. I've got business to take care of. Bye for now.
Hey, wait a sec. Those intruders. I wanted to ask, what crime have they committed?
They're plotting to overthrow the architects and bring harm.
Huh. Reminds me of the accusations against me. Kokolio's methods haven't changed.
Don't say that, Serval. I know that you're still nursing a grievance against the Supreme Guardian, but this isn't a joking matter.
You're telling me off again? Fine. Whatever, bro. You better be going. Come listen to Pela in my next rehearsal.
I will, if I have the time.
The coast is clear. You can come out now.
started. What kind of plot device was that?
I almost lost my cool when he went for his flask.
This is bad. Bronya's in danger. We have to go save her.
Attempting to storm Klepoth Fort by ourselves? Forget it, Zila. I don't care how skilled you are, I'm not sending you on a suicide mission. Rest assured, Cocolia may have changed over the years, but she never hurt Bronya.
You sound like Bronya herself. I don't get it. You guys are against Cocolia, and yet in some ways, you seem to trust her completely.
Didn't you hear him? He said he needs to take care of a few matters in the city first. If we're fast enough, we can stay out of his way. Come on, let's go to the restricted zone. If we can get ahead of the curve and find the Stellaron, Cocolia will be out of options.
Is Bronya really safe?
You care about her, huh? You must have become close friends.
Close. Is a bit much, but I made her a promise.
Relax. She's the strongest girl I've ever seen.
I can believe that.
Oh, they've jacked up security all right. How the heck are we gonna sneak in?
Leave it to me. Stick close.
This is a military base. Trespassers aren't allowed in. Wait, isn't that... Serval! Long time no see.
Well, if it isn't Franz. Long time no see. You still watching the entrance?
Well, you see, you haven't changed, Serval. Still nailing us to the wall. So, what brings you over here at this hour? And who are the guys behind you?
My brother said the restricted zone energy lines were malfunctioning. Told me it was urgent. He doesn't trust those contracted maintenance workers, so he got me in for free. These guys are my assistants. We need to overhaul all the installations here.
I didn't hear anything about the energy lines malfunctioning.
Oh, please. This is a technology division issue. Why would they tell you guys? Come on, let us in already. If the heating system goes down in the middle of the night, are you gonna be responsible for all the frozen corpses?
No, that's, not something I could handle. Seeing as you're Captain Japard's sister, it should... Okay, here are some temporary passes. Oh, and remember to give them back to me when you leave.
Thanks, Franz. I'll put in a good...
No, Captain Japard hates all that under-the-table stuff. I'd have a better...
I'm aware that there are those among you who see the reserve units as a vacation. But let me set one thing straight. You are gravely mistaken. This is the restricted zone. The fragmentum before you conceals monsters that watch your every move. Behind us, we have a band of conspirators that have infiltrated the city. The situation is critical. As such, starting from today, we will be adding 200 bench presses and 30 extra minutes of one-arm planks to our daily drill. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yay! Let's take it off!
See? That was easy.
You're Japard's sister, all right.
I don't want people to see me that way. I'm doing this for you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using my brother's name.
Do you see that mechanical gear bridge? When you cross over to the other side, you arrive at Hell on Earth. It's a place too cold to bear, covered in snow and ice. The restricted zone front line is on the other side of the gear bridge. It's an endless fragmentum with a few exhausted Silvermane guards and the stench of death in the air. If we want to progress further north, we will need to cross that hell. Are you ready?
Exactly. We've got nowhere left to retreat.
Let's go then. First, we need to think of a way to get to the other side. I helped set the underlying mechanisms for this type of gear bridge. It's controlled via different terminals in combination. Let's go find them.
Is Japard on frontline duty a lot?
Yes, but what made you ask that all of a sudden?
It's so dangerous. Don't you worry about him?
He's a Landau. Nope. This terminal's offline. We can't control it from here.
So what's the plan?
Look for another. Every platform linked to the gear bridge should have a similar terminal.
I never would have guessed that Japard and you were brother and sister.
I can't say I blame you. We're nothing alike in personality or interests. In our family, we have a strong military tradition going back generations. Many a Landau has died in their prime. There's not a lot of brother and sister time. Everyone just does their best to get on with their life.